Howdy, everyone. While I wait for people to join, I'm just going to do the normal stuff. If you are in need of any of my help whatsoever in creating your perfect life, check the link in the chat thingy, or I'll put it down below in the comment section. I've just added video call coaching, and yeah, so join that if you're interested. If you want to be part of a community, you should join the YouTube channel community section. We ended up being up super late, so I'm a bit tired. So while I wait for people to join, I'm going to ramble. What else was I going to say? I'm probably going to edit this part out. Howdy, Dev. You all right? Four people in. Nice. I'm going to do all the posting and stuff. Yes, sir. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Sybil says, hey, what's up? Howdy, Sybil. How you doing? But super duper tired. We were up like adventuring. I think we got woken up at about 3 a.m. Apologies for the creaky floorboard. Katie's moving around. We were woken up at like 3:15 or something. I don't know. And we went on an adventure, driving all over the place, and we didn't go to bed until I think it was like 5:30.
Maybe. We didn't get back here till 6.
Oh really? Oh, there you go. So it would have been even later. So we are both absolutely knackered. So if the energy is a little bit lower in today's video or today's stream, do apologize.
And then I had to go to work, and I've just been having a nap.
Yeah, I haven't napped yet. I had a coaching call, then like almost immediately after a group Zoom call, and now the live stream. And I went to the gym earlier and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm absolutely just dead. But Dev says, hey, Matthew, a lot of success stories are scaring me. Okay. Why are they scaring you? What's up? Sybil says, I'm good. Actually, that's good to hear. B. Givka says, hello. Howdy, B. Givka. You okay?
Sybil's making pizza.
So, yep, Sybil's making pizza. I'm very jealous.
Do you want to make you pizza?
No, I'm going to order kebab. Yeah. I've been spending money like stupid lately, just being an asshole with it. I went to the gym today, and this is probably the saddest thing that I've ever done. I deliberately didn't do a bicep exercise. I do back and then end on biceps on pull day. I deliberately missed the last exercise to make sure I got to game to buy the new box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards they've just released before my bus game. I gave up gains for Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I think you're jealous.
Exactly. AH says, hey, how is it like to manifest SP to go long distance relationship and see them? Bless you both. You guys are so amazing. Thank you very much for the nice words. Let me read that again because my brain is not functioning. Hey, how is it like to manifest SP to go to long distance relationship? So you're asking, how do we manifest an SP to be willing to do that? If that is your question, I'm going to answer that one. If it's not your question, just put it like, again, how you mean it. Can you just put, actually, it's fine with it. So the way that you will manifest a long distance relationship is the same as you'd manifest anything, really. The distance is only a circumstance that you put in the way with your own thoughts and assumptions. So it would literally just be a case of creating a scene, get clear on what you want. So you want the relationship, and then creating scenes or statements that imply you already have this relationship. You don't have to specify long distance, because if you just specify you are in this relationship, things will happen as they need to happen. They might move closer. They might be willing to do the distance. You might end up having an opportunity to move closer. That leaves the options open. So literally get clear on what kind of relationship that you want. Create scenes or statements that imply you are living this relationship right now. So I am in a loving, committed, passionate relationship with fill in the blank, or a visualization of you two on a date or something. And then you would repeat them to yourself and try to impress your subconscious mind with the notion that you are already experiencing this. Given the state that at the moment there's a massive like rupture about the whole 10K challenge that I've seen everybody talking about, I'm going to put my 2 cents in on this live stream for the moment. I 100% think that you do need to impress your subconscious mind with consistent repetition. You don't just pick up a basketball and shoot threes and become amazing at it. You don't like start singing and immediately become amazing at it. There is still always practice. And I think it's the same for impressing your subconscious mind. Now, whether it's 10,000 affirmations or not, I don't know the exact numbers, but I've seen a lot of mixed reviews about this whole thing. So my 2 cents is that it does take a fair amount of repetition. as I put in my manifesting a job video, and as I put in the manifesting Katie back video that I did all that time ago, I was like affirming basically nonstop until I felt that it was done. So for the purposes of your question, you will do the same thing. You'll repeat to yourself that you are living this situation, this relationship, this experience, and continue to impress that in your subconscious mind using whatever technique you prefer, and then go forward knowing that it is done. Just going to quickly post this on thingy. It's really annoying. I can't do this until the video actually goes live. Otherwise, I wouldn't waste all of our times waiting for me to do this. But I have to yeah, I can go there. Cool.
I didn't know which comment you got up to. I was going to carry on reading, and instead I was like,
back here. Jordan Sang says, "Hey bud, howdy howdy. I hope all the stuff's going well with you, Jordan. Obviously, I'm not going to announce your situation to everyone here, but I hope what you've been talking to me about is going well." Joseph Smith says, "Hi guys, howdy howdy, Joseph." AH says, "Yes, that's in relation to my question." Joseph Smith says, "Advice on how to change what happened in the past with an SP." Now, there is obviously revision, so without knowing exactly what happened, I won't be able to give much specific details. But let's say that they said something that you weren't too big of a fan of. You would revise it depending on your specific like technique that you like to use. You would change that. So let's assume that they said that they didn't like the way that your hair looked. You could be like, you could either change it so that it didn't happen at all by just removing that memory, or like not really thinking of it, not giving awareness to it, or you can change the like way that it went by simply saying that they said something else. So bring that scene to your mind, and instead of have yourself tell yourself that they said it was your hair was super nice, and that is how you can change what happened in the past. You simply just take the scene or the scenario and just make it go a different route. Cappadocian Kid says, "Hey Matthew and Katie, hope everything is the best." Yeah, it's not too bad, thank you very much. Just tired.
Very tired.
Very tired.
Very tired.
Dev says, "Because some of them said that they were affirming for their SP, but then they got with someone else and then came with them, that just scared the shit out of me." Because some of them said that they were affirming for their SP, but then they got with someone else and then came with
Then came with them.
That just scared me. Okay, so this is actually
So the success stories is what it's talking about.
Yeah.
Because some of them said that they were affirming for their SP, but then they got with someone else.
And then came with them. I'm assuming you mean they got with someone else and then came back. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, regardless of because I don't know if it's because we're tired or not, but I'm really struggling to like make sense of what you're saying there. This is actually one of the reasons why I stopped doing success stories, and instead I've been posting people talking about how they enjoy coaching with me more than actual successes, because a lot of people see other people's successes as your failures. And obviously that's not exactly what you've gone with here, but a success story, someone else's success has scared you. So this is actually why I've stopped posting as much success stories. And instead of doing success stories, I've done stuff about how people have enjoyed coaching with me, because you seeing other people enjoy coaching with me is going to benefit you more, because you know that what I'm doing is helping others more than me telling you this person got their thing within a week, a month, a year, or whatever. But yeah, this is why I've stopped doing success stories, because people unfortunately take them the wrong way.
To sort of just, I guess, stop checking them. You know, like when you say stop checking the 3D, stop looking for reasons to put yourself down.
Become your own success story.
Because I think a lot of people are guilty of, oh my God, look at that. Why haven't I done that? Why haven't I done this? Why haven't? And then that's where the fear is like coming from. It's comparing yourself to other people's, and their story won't be the same as yours anyway. Even if their story sounds identical to yours, as in you're both aiming for an SP, you both get the SP at the same time, you both live happily ever after, their story, like the little bits, they're going to be completely different. So there's nothing within their story that should in any way link to your life. They're not your people, they're not the people you know, they're not I mean, for all you know, they could have made it up. Like it could be that you made it up, you know, and then because you're panicking about it, there it appears somebody else getting somebody else when they wanted their SP, because it's, you know, something that you're setting your fear on, setting your mind on. So I think, just stop checking it.
Yeah.
Stop looking for them. Stop trying to find reasons to look at other people's success stories and just look at your own.
Or if you're going to look at someone else's success story, look at the fact that it's a success. If it was a failure story, then I could understand why it scared you. But it's a success story with like maybe a little bit of undesirability in the beginning or in the middle. It's okay. Yours isn't necessarily going to go that way. But the more that you focus on the fear, the more that you focus on, oh, this went wrong, so this could go wrong for me, the more likely you are to impress that. So just see the best out of everything and then try and let go of the rest. Sybil says, I'm thinking about manifesting a new SP, but I also don't care about being in a relationship right now. Also, still kind of affirming for old SP out of habit. I don't know what I want, lol. Yeah, I'd say probably like try and see if you could figure out what you want. Or you could just go like, I'm in an amazing relationship, or like, I love my life the way that it is, and just let whatever happens happen.
Say, take your focus off of SPs and which one you want and la la la, and just focus on your amazing, incredible life.
Yeah.
I have the best life ever. Put all of it just towards like how amazing and how much fun you're having, and it's how it's exactly the way that you wanted it to go, and then it will go that way.
Yeah.
And then I guess they'll tell you which one your SP is.
Some says, going through rejection from my boyfriend's family for our marriage for 1 year now. The pain is a lot. We are still together 4 years, but he's getting into depression now. I'm finding it hard to persist. I don't know. Why is the family like opinion? Is it an arranged thing? Is it like one of those kind of things where it needs to be like approved, or is it just a general like they're not happy with it? Because you're adults, go do you. But as for like the persistent part, as for what the comments actually about, try to change the way that you see them. I don't know what you're persisting in. It just says it's hard to persist and that he's becoming depressed. But try to change the way that you're seeing them. You're seeing them as not being supportive. And the simple fix to that is either A, have the marriage as it's already happened, because they'd obviously either have to approve it or get over it and have the marriage, or B, which would be kind of messing with the middle a little bit, but I think it's justified in this instance, have their opinion change on it. So have them approve of the wedding, of your relationship, of it all going perfectly to plan. Oh, B Kivka put a donation of $10. Regarding the 10K challenge, does it matter if I do 400 reps at a time, 10 minutes, or rather just do whatever works for me? I like to repeat affirmations throughout the day. It mutes my logical mind for a while. Firstly, thank you very much for donating. You really don't have to donate every stream. Like, obviously, we really, really appreciate it. But we will get to your comment eventually if you just put it. But so I think the 400 is fine, because obviously, as I've said in a couple of my videos, I like to do affirmations rampage where I just chill, and then I'll do about 10 minutes or so, which is, as Sammy does mention in the video that she did on it, is about 400. So I think 400 is perfectly fine. And I think the 10K thing does hold some validity in the long run. I don't think you have to do 10K all in one at all. But I do think to really impress it, you should, like 10K sounds about right, because they say that to master any skill, it usually takes about 10,000 hours worth of practice. So I feel like the 10K amount is actually a pretty valid number. But no, I don't think that you need to do like all 10K at once. And I think it's perfectly fine to do the 400 reps if you want to, 300, 200, as long as you're persisting, as long as you're like putting the work in and really repeating it, doing it throughout the day, like it's fine. I think from like a perfect impression standpoint, yes, it would make sense, because like there's been loads of science to say it takes 21 days minimum to really rewire your brain and stuff, like with affirmation tapes and subliminals and stuff. We've seen it everywhere. So it makes sense, but I don't think that it needs to be a strict amount. I feel like, think of it like doing, I don't know, like you're still, think of it like losing weight. Doing 20 minutes on the treadmill is still going to lose weight if you're not doing any minutes on the treadmill, as opposed to an hour. If that makes sense. If you go from doing nothing to all of a sudden 20 minutes like every single day, you're still going to like lose weight due to doing it. You get what I'm going with this?
I get what you're saying. Like basically, I think what We are so tired. We are so tired. Words are not our thing today. No way. But anyway, I think what he's trying to say and trying to explain is if you are starting at doing nothing and you do a little bit, you are still doing way more than you were doing before.
Yeah.
Therefore, like, no matter how much, you don't have to put the stress on doing, right, that's it, I need to do 4 hours in one go right now, going. As long as you make a very conscious effort to get heading towards doing that 4 hours, you're changing everything. You're starting not only to change the way that you think about it, as in like pushing yourself to do it when even when you don't want to do it, but you will get to the point where you can do whatever it is that you're after for 4 hours. And so like
400.
400 hours.
No, 400 affirmations.
Oh, sorry. You can just fucking tell how tired we are. But yeah.
But I think it still like holds some validity. Like the increased amount of repetition, I do think is very important. Like I said, in my video where I manifested my job, I manifested day in, day out while I was doing washing up, while I was doing putting the clothes away for about a month. It was every single day I was affirming near enough non-stop to get my job, and I got it. The only thing that I've ever said, and I know like I had someone call me out on it, they didn't really call me out, they just pointed it out, but that I've said that you shouldn't affirm too much because of in desperation. I still stand by that. I still stand by if you're in a desperate state, you should try and calm yourself down first and then try. But I don't think affirming a lot is desperation and need. I just think the state in which you're doing it can dictate where you're coming from, and that you should try and like quash before you get on.
It's like even your inner monologue has a tone.
Mm.
So if you're there going, I have this flower, I have this flower, that is so much different to I have this flower, I need this flower, I've got this flower, I have this flower. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't know why it's a flower,
rectangle.
but even your like in a monologue and everything, it has sort of that tone of desperation that like yeah.
But thank you again for the donation. We really, really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Gotta find where I was. Zebra says happy birthday to whoever it is. It's the eldest 6th birthday.
That says Zara.
Oh, Zara, sorry. I haven't got my glasses on, sorry. Zebra.
Thanks, Zebra.
Thanks, Zebra. And Roy says, howdy, Matt, kind of late, but what's your point of view on this new 10K affirmation thing? Well, I just gave my point of view on that. I think it holds some validity, but I don't think you should kill yourself over it, basically. I think you should definitely try to be consistent and try to be quite repetitive, but I don't think that you need to absolutely like terrorize yourself to hit 10K. I like the discussion it sparked, though. Huh?
I'm answering the next question.
Oh. Nick J says, hi, friends. My question is, are you engaged or married? No. She keeps trying. No, not yet. Don't blame me. Hey, you guys start signing up for coaching. I'll be able to afford a ring. It's your fault. It's all your fault. I'm not taking accountability for this. Lady R says, hi, Matt and Katie. Howdy, Lady R. Hope you're doing okay. B Givka says, oh, I like the 10K challenge too. I believe it simplifies things a lot and starts me asking, what if this or what if that? Just affirm. Yeah, basically. Hopefully our little tangent didn't ruin anything for you. But yes, in essence, just affirm. Just keep going. You'll get it eventually. Lady R also says, whose birthday is it? It's the eldest. I think I said that a second ago. I can't remember. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's the eldest. Ashtown Love said, hi, Matt. Howdy. Not hi, you. AH says, thank you so much. You're very, very welcome. Dev says, can I tell myself that if I visualize myself in third person view with my SP, that is obviously me and my manifestation won't go to someone else because our subconscious mind is smart. It should. Did you say more? It should know that it's me and my SP. The only difference is I am seeing myself. So yeah, I've heard Joseph Ally talk about this, saying that if you do it and visualize in third person, it will go to someone else. I don't visualize in third person. I don't visualize at all. I can't. But I also don't have any evidence to say that it won't. So I'm assuming that if you are visualizing yourself getting it, then like as in third person, then you should still get it. Because if you visualize your friend, okay, well, Kate can vouch.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Kate can answer this one.
I can't visualize as in like, I don't know why, but I can't visualize like I'm visualizing like the way that I see. I can only visualize if I see me. Like Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people struggle with like the being able to see their own hands and stuff. I actually do have like a mini exercise for when I tried to, because I got tattoos on my hands. It was a good exercise for me to try and visualize my own hands, because there was a lot of detail. So it wasn't just a random pair of hands. I had to actually visualize my own. But yeah, according to Katie, it's fine. And as I was going to say, when you manifest for other people, if you visualize, they get the manifestation because you're visualizing for them. So if you can visualize someone else and seeing them in third person, then I can't really see why you wouldn't get it if you're seeing yourself receiving it. Just
I suppose it's one of those things where if you believe that visualizing in third person will mean that you don't get it, then you won't get it.
yeah,
You
unfortunately.
need to believe that visualizing, however you visualize, will work exactly how you want it to work.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am still croaky from the chest infection, but
Drama queen.
yeah, I think it's one of those things that's like a limiting belief. If you sit there thinking, what are you looking at?
Nothing. I'm just ordering food.
I wondered why you was laughing.
Because I'm ordering you wings.
Because what?
I'm ordering you
I
wings.
am so full. Please don't order me food. Yeah.
You done?
What was I saying? I think I was done. Did I get to the end of my sentence? You distracted me too much.
I didn't. You looked at my phone.
You distracted me so much.
Chat. Didn't she look at my phone?
Well, don't laugh on your phone next to me. Yeah, no, I think I said what I was saying. Like, yeah, if you believe that
Just answer the question.
I'm trying to. If you believe that it will mean that you don't get it, then you won't get it. But if you believe that no matter how you visualize, I think I've already said this, but no matter how you visualize, you always get exactly what you want from your visualizing, then you will get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps.
Hopefully.
Joseph Smith says, thanks. So like visualize it or just talk to myself that it didn't happen and change what happened. Yeah. Essentially just say that isn't true for me because in fact, this is what was said or this was what is done. And then you just spill it out to yourself. Your subconscious mind doesn't have eyes and your brain doesn't understand past, present, and future. Obviously on a conscious level, it does. But in terms of when you bring it to your mind, they've proven that it doesn't actually know whether it's a memory or an imagination. So if you just bring it to your mind saying, this is what actually happened, your brain, if you do it enough, your brain can't really go, well, no, it doesn't. Obviously your conscious brain can, but that's not what manifests. Well, kind of. You feed your subconscious mind through your conscious mind. So if you're consciously telling it the same thing over and over, then it gets fed in. Chris McQuillan says, thank you for the Zoom. You're very welcome. I hope you enjoyed it. Dev says, oh no, that was the rest of his thingy. Zara says, how do I change my own negative perception of how SP views me? Do you have any technique to completely change it? Because find myself returning to negative thoughts or reverting back to old thinking. Is it like, it's like a lifestyle and catching myself? Is there like a permanent fix? Yeah, change the way you view you first. So it's a lot easier for you to change how someone else views you when you already view yourself that way. If you think that you're, just as an example, just unattractive and you can't really get on board with how you look, then it's going to be very difficult to go, oh, SP thinks I'm beautiful. But if you then manage to switch that and just then start seeing yourself as beautiful, it might still take some work. But once you finally get to a point of appreciating yourself and having self-love for yourself, it becomes a lot easier to say, oh, actually, other people think this about me too. So it always starts with you, always. And once you start seeing yourself as whatever it is that you want him to see you like, or seeing that you're worthy and deserving of that, it becomes a lot easier to impress your mind with the idea that the other person sees you that way. And then it becomes more natural. It starts off with like constant repetition, but over time, it does become a natural assumption, and then you don't have to repeat it so much.
I think a good start as well is to immediately argue the negative thoughts that pop into your head out loud.
Yeah.
Because I sit there and I'm like, oh, I'm so ugly. And then I'm like, no, I'm not, I'm beautiful. And every now and then I will just shout out something out loud. And it's just, yeah, that's like pretty much changed the way now that I view myself.
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, I still do like the standard standing in front of the mirror like, oh, I fucking hate this outfit or whatever. But yeah, if you argue it out loud every time a negative thought pops into your head and just basically just like, no, shut up, sort of thing. I find that works personally.
Yeah. Ashtown Love says, watching a movie with my sister, so I'll come back to watch the rest of the live later. No worries. We'll be doing a short one this one so that we can go to sleepies. But yeah, enjoy your movie. I hope it is a good one.
What movie is it?
Yeah, they're probably gone. But yeah, what movie is it? Lady R says, oh, I see the banner says happy 6th birthday. I didn't see the 6th earlier. Yes, because my big old head was like kind of in the way.
Your big old head.
But yeah, 6th birthday. JRC says, I've made it. glad to see you here. Enjoy the live.
It's just your thumbs up.
Yeah, you know I love you.
Oh my God.
Cappadocian Kid says, I see myself as too handsome for my SP. I deserve the best. She makes me feel like a celebrity. Does it create insecurity for my SP, such as shyness, nervousness, and blushing every time? I don't see her too much beautiful as my standards. You don't see her too much. I think that means you don't see her as beautiful as your standards, if I've read that right. The only way that would happen is if you create that assumption within her that the way that you are is that's the way that it makes her feel. She becomes like that because of how she feels about you. In terms of like whether it happens or not, that'll only be an assumption of yours or a self-concept thing, because you can have a self-concept of like, I make people blush because I'm attractive I am or something. But yeah, so I mean, I don't get the last part. I don't see her too much beautiful as my standards. Do you mean that she isn't as good as your standards? Is that what you meant? M Joy says, I am late. Darn it. Hi guys. Howdy, M Joy. Sorry to see you late. Sybil put, I can't see. Can you see? What is it doing?
Just my big old forehead. It's a thumbs up.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a little guy going.
Little guy kind of.
With little like beans out of his head.
Abenea
No,
says,
not out of its head, out of its thumb.
Abenea says, hi, Ma Katie.
Hi, Abenea. Hi, I've missed you. Where have you been?
It's your
Why
only
have
friend.
you gone for so long and not been here?
She said, life's flanking crazy right now. Dev says, oh yeah, whenever I get a negative thought of her being with someone else, I say, no, that is not true. She only loves me because I too only love her and she is with me and not with anyone else. Good. Then hopefully the success stories won't scare you for too long. Lady R says, I'm manifesting new love, but I realize that every time I go out, I wonder, am I going to meet him? Think I need to look good just in case I bump into him. Any suggestions on how I can change this? Because I know it's coming from lack. Why not just see it as I need to look good because I want to look good, or like I'm looking good for myself, you know? Or you could see it as I'm looking good for my new love or for my boyfriend, and just pretend that you're getting dressed for him, as in not to meet him, as in like I gotta look good just in case he's there, but you're looking good because it's for him, if that makes sense. Hopefully I've made that clear.
Dev, just do it for you.
All that, yeah. Dev says, hey Abenea, long time no see. B Giftco says, thank you for your answer. I'm glad to hear your view on it. Guys, I'm excited for this. Good. You'll have to come back and give us an update on how it goes. JRC says, man, it's hard to affirm that much with everything else on my plate. Yeah, the 10K thing isn't really for everyone in terms of finding the time to do so, but just do it when you can. You'll eventually kind of get there to the point of impression. If you can, the way that I see it is if you can affirm the opposite, like as in like have the thoughts that would dictate the opposite, then you'll have time to affirm the correct stuff, because you're obviously still thinking. So you can at least try and switch those thoughts. But yeah, sitting there and drilling out 10K affirmations is definitely not, I wouldn't be able to do that. I just about find the time to do 400. And even then I don't do it every day. It says, hey Dev,
it's
yeah.
Like free.
What, 3 affirmations? Just 3 affirmations?
Yeah. I think it just all is what you choose works for you. I think that's one thing that's very important to remember, because if you can believe that you can choose whatever happens to you, then there is no reason why you can't choose how many times you need to think about something for it to happen to you.
Yeah, I do and I don't.
I mean, that's my belief anyway.
I definitely think that I definitely think that assumption should be made, that the less you affirm, the better, or things come quickly, or you don't even have to put a lot of effort in. I definitely think those assumptions should be attempted to be made, but unfortunately, I don't know if I would see it as a limiting belief. I'm not 100% sure, but in my brain, I'm like, but this is how the brain rewires. So I can't tell if that's a limiting belief or it's just the simple way that a woman takes, on average, anywhere between 8 to 10 months to birth like a healthy baby. Like it's the law of life. So I don't know if the brain, you know.
I don't know where you got to that, but yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
Because you said that you can make the assumption that you don't have to do like loads.
Like in a day.
In a day. Oh, I see.
Sorry, I'm not saying like, just affirm one time and then tell your brain that you've affirmed one time, therefore it's yours. I'm saying things still take time. I just don't feel like you have to, like, I mean, I don't know enough about any of it, but like the whole thing. But in my head, the thing that has worked for me so far is doing 1 or 2 here or there. Quite, it has taken a few days or a few months, or like depending on what it is, it's taken like its time. But I have never in a day affirmed for 400 times.
I definitely did.
Still get things that I want.
Yeah, I think again it goes back to the original
But then maybe you got it in like 2 days, and then the thing would have come to me in 2 days, but I took 4 months because I was doing just like a little bit, a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
I think it goes back to like the original kind of statement of your dominant state, your dominant thoughts. If you affirm 2 times, but then overall you only have 1 negative thought, then they're still dominantly. So I suppose it all just depends on where your mind goes most. Abinaya says, "Hey Dev, yeah, life's been crazy." Dev then says, "Why? What happened?" Abinaya says, "University happened." Dev says, "I mean, I only see mental pictures." I'm assuming that's to do with the visualization. And then says, "I can't visualize too, lol." And then he also says, "Abinaya affirmed that the uni is great." And then Abinaya did a face. And then Dev said, "I mean, what is your main objective?" And then Abinaya says, "No, I just want to rant out a lot of things, laugh my ass off." Dev said, "Oh, okay." And then, it skipped.
And then we jumped all the way down.
And Dev said, "By the way, are you happy with your SP, Abinaya?" And then Cappadocian got in the way and said, "Manifesting is not just affirming or visualizing. It's all about changing self, the perspective to the old story, because we all get what we are. Instead of fighting negative story, create calmness." Yeah, it should be natural. And yeah, I think I say this in almost every single video. You get what you are, not what you want. So if you are someone who is battling the old story, then that means you're still invested in it. If you are someone that just experiences the new stuff, then yeah. And that was one of the things, and the 10K thing is probably going to come out quite a lot because it's Sammy Ingram, and she's like kind of sits at the top of LOA stuff in terms of channel size. But that was one of the things that she did put in that video, because the only reason I actually watched that video, because I don't really watch many other coaches, is someone, their YouTube name is Esther, I think. Esther, something like that. They asked me what my thoughts was on, so I watched the whole video to give my thoughts. One thing she does say in that video is something about how people say to just embody the state, and she's like, "Well, how can you do it if you don't repeat?" And I do still think that you can manifest without affirming nonstop if you embody the state, because embodying the state is obviously just thinking from the end of already being that person. If I received a bill and my end goal is to be rich, my thinking would be, "Oh, I can handle this. This is pennies," and that will manifest as well. So I think it all comes down to, again, the original statement that I said a second ago. It's your dominant thoughts. If you get something and you can dominantly think from the end and you very rarely waver on it, I think you can still manifest even without affirming a single time. But again, it's all where your dominant focus and your dominant thoughts are coming from. It's just affirmations are in my opinion, the easiest thing to do. And that's why they're so widely utilized. Abner says, "I couldn't make out whether I have a problem or whether I'm seeing a situation going like a Formula One race right in front of my eyes." And then she also says, "My SP and I are doing mighty fine. I'm intending yours do too." It's very nice, very wholesome. Cappadocian says, "Yes, I meant that. I can get more beautiful girls as well." Oh, if you can, go for it. I mean, it's up to you. It's entirely up to you. If you want to go for more beautiful girls, then I ain't going to stop you. Zara says, "Can you manifest like not disassociating? Disassociation is a coping mechanism, but can you just affirm that you don't dissociate?" Also, before you were talking about affirmations rampage, are we meant to affirm like regularly throughout the day? I find that most times shit that I've like forgotten about happens like instantly compared to stuff I'm dwelling on. So can you manifest like not disassociating? What, disassociating from what? Just like life or specific thing, or?
So disassociating is it's like just where something is happening and it's just a bit too much for you, and it could be something like somebody's making too much noise, or somebody's making like talking to you too much, and you just go plop, and you go completely blank. And a lot of the time people's eyes sort of like unfocused and stuff, and you sort of get like a ringing in your ears. Some people, I do, like just and like there's nothing is going on around you. You can't acknowledge anything, you can't zone in on anything, you can't concentrate, you can't hear what somebody's saying to you. I guess to some extent it's sort of like a medical condition kind of thing. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. And then it's like sometimes linked to anxiety attacks, sometimes linked to other mental like disorders and stuff. I personally have not necessarily directly tried, but I have tried to improve sort of my other mental sort of, like as a whole, my mental like health as a whole sort of thing. And for me personally, I have found that with the improvements of it as a whole, it has become less, but I have not directly tried to stop dissociating. I have just tried to improve my overall mental well-being sort of thing and all of the things that go along with it. I'd like try. It's like the best thing that I can say, because yes, there has been for me like improvements. It happens a lot less. But yeah, it's like a coping mechanism, but it's like you just go, like you're gone sort of thing. It's the best way I can describe it.
I mean, yeah, you could affirm stuff like I'm always present in the moment. I handle situations effectively. I'm calm and collected in stressful situations. You could affirm the opposite.
New coping mechanisms that work better, or I have no need for coping mechanisms anymore.
Yeah, the only thing that I like probably would advise is not to say that you don't dissociate, because it's like putting focus on the problem. The problem is disassociation, and you want to change that. So if you say I don't dissociate, that means that you are someone who disassociates and therefore trying to change it. If you simply just accept the new solution of I'm calm and collected and all the things that Katie suggested, then it should help out. As for the are we meant to affirm regularly throughout the day, I find that most times shit that I've forgotten about happens like instantly compared to stuff I'm dwelling on. So the way that I did a short on this not too long ago, and 9 times out of 10, this obviously doesn't account for everything, but 9 times out of 10, the things that manifest quicker are the things that you don't have much attachment to, much of an old story to, much of a need for, much of resistance towards. Obviously, I don't believe in resistance as in something that physically gets in your way, but we do place resistance in our own ways. And most of the time, the things that manifest really quick are the things that you aren't too fussed about, like receiving an item for free, or someone giving you a compliment, or an old friend reaching out. That isn't to say that everything doesn't come quick, but it doesn't mean that everything has to be affirmed for if it's like a big desire. But this is why a lot of the times we do have to affirm quite a lot for bigger desires, and that's because people have very strong opposing views of it. So, oh, I'm not rich because look at how I can't afford this, 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 and this, and this. And that's why you have to then struggle and continuously repeat that you are rich. So it will just depend on the desire and your attachment to it. Did it skip? Oh no. And then Abinea says, hi, Mo QT, lol, Munchkin Katie, I miss you too. Lady R says, thanks for the answer about going out and looking good. Makes 100% sense. As always, I'm glad it does. Thank you very much for the comment. Abinea says, I'm so sorry, honey. I literally black out every Saturday night because I have uni on all Sats except the third Sat. Also, Katie, do you mind if I text you about the happenings in my life and stuff?
Yeah, that's cool.
I have a lot to spill.
Go on my cat's wax.
Yeah. Oh, all of you lot, go search up cat's wax, cats.wax. Gotta put it in here. And go show Katie's business some love. We're trying to build each other up here.
I'm trying TikTok for the first time in my life, and yeah, it's going. Tried to do one of those like voiceover videos.
Yeah, go support her.
It took about 400 takes, and then where I like still have like blocked sinuses and all that kind of shit. I've been ill forever. Like the words are like bunged is the best way I can describe them, and like making and like funny noises, but yeah.
So if you all go show some support to Katie's wax melt Instagram and TikTok, that'd be really appreciated. Another thing I'm doing as well is a little short involving content. So if I have positively affected your life in any way, it doesn't matter if it's like big or small, if you're happy to, please could you potentially either leave it on this live stream when it goes live, or send me an email with it, because what I'm doing is I'm collating all of the like really nice comments and sort of how I've made an effect on you to place as a like collage-y kind of thing.
We're gonna make a few
Compilation, for content. You know that show what your small business does in 7 seconds or whatever it is, TikTok voiceover, and then I want to put like what it does because I think it'd be cool. But yeah, so if you're happy to help me out on that, obviously be entirely honest. You don't have to like make up stuff because I don't. I'm not going to vouch for stuff that I haven't actually done. But if I have benefited you in any way and you're happy to just take a couple of seconds out of your day to send it over, that'd be really appreciated. But yeah, so Avene has asked to message you stuff. I have a lot to spell out and I'm literally uncoordinated and unsorted right now that my mind's going bananas. If Matt seems jelly, take a pic and send it to me so I could create another account and have that as the profile picture and show up next to it live. I forgot you did that actually. That was like what, the 3rd or 4th live?
I think so.
It was so long ago.
Ray. She like where the fluff is there, balloons in here.
Yeah.
Livid.
JRC says, I don't like how aggressive Sammy is. Just not my taste. I also got to the point in this journey where I don't need to watch tons of videos. Yeah, I think I don't know, like please stop. I was going to concentrate with it. I think that there's this like need for bigger channels to almost seem like they're like, I don't know what the term that I would use is, like they can't do any wrong. And I think part of her aggressiveness comes from like a need to be like, I am right. And yeah, she obviously clearly puts out great content that helps a lot of people. And I'm not discrediting that whatsoever. But I think that part of the show that she puts on is to reinforce that I am amazing. I have this highly successful channel. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. And therefore there's very little vulnerability because I haven't watched a lot of Sammy's videos, I'll be honest, but I don't think I've ever seen a Sammy video where she's gone, oh, I remember when I like fucked up, and again, there's no discredit to her work whatsoever, but I do think that it's a bit of a mild facade. And I've noticed that the bigger that the channel becomes, the less they seem to make mistakes. But we're all human, and I don't care how big you become. I don't care how amazing you are. Even Neville Goddard, the one that everyone like goes crazy over, still took like a ridiculous amount of time to manifest his specific person. So, you know, I think there's some situations where no matter how good you are, you can still make mistakes. And I think it seems like the bigger the channel, they're scared of showing that vulnerability. Thank you. Because they're worried that it might negatively affect their image. But I don't care. I'll just be honest with you guys when I fuck up. But yeah, I think she's a great content creator, but yeah, I'm not too keen on her presentation. And then also getting to the point with this journey where I don't need to watch tons of videos. Yeah, that's a good place to be as well. It's all just the same stuff regurgitated, to be honest. The only reason that I am able to post so much content is because people keep creating these new reasons for there to be content. The simple instructions are: get clear on your desire, create statements and scenes that imply it's the case, repeat it to yourself, and don't dwell in the old story. It's 4 very simple steps, and build up your self-concept. So 5 very simple steps. But then people are like, oh, but what about long distance? What about the 369 method? What about scripting? What about this? What about that? And that's the only reason is I'm able to post so much content on it, because people keep creating more and more reasons for me to explain my videos. But yeah, once you kind of get the general gist down, you don't really need videos. Zara says, basically, when you're a kid, you disassociate because you can't deal with the big people problems. So you disassociate to block everything out. But for me, it's sort of just stuck and happens randomly, like what Katie said. Also, it's because we make it a big thing that it becomes big. Oh, that was 2 different things. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose if it's something that you had to deal with as a child, then now you should just change it so that it's like, oh, I'm able to stay calm and collected in certain situations. And like Katie said, just work on your mental health as a whole, and it will work. I found that meditating is really good for those kind of things. I barely react to anything anymore. Some things do still piss me off, but not as much as I used to. And that's basically just because I just kind of got to grip with myself a little bit. Lady R says, love the new website. Thank you very much. I did that twice. So 4 times. So I did it. And this is actually a story of an instant manifestation, which I've had a lot of negative ones of those lately. So I was doing it, and the kids were pissing around next to me, and I was just like, I'm gonna end up having to go up there, tell them off, and watch it come back, and my website won't be up. Fortunately, that didn't happen, but over the course of the night, all of the work that I'd done on my website just got wiped out of nowhere. I couldn't get it back by doing like the undo button, and I couldn't get it back by going into my history. So I had to redo my website. So when I redid like all the changes, I then saved it, and then the next day I went and redid all the services, and again the same thing happened where just a massive chunk just disappeared and I couldn't get it back. So I had to do that. I basically did the entire website twice and then the services page twice. So yeah, I was very mooey boy. I was not happy bunny, but yeah, I like it. I think it looks nicer than it did before, and I think the presentation of what the services have to offer is much better than it was before. So I quite like it. Sometimes says how to get over resistance for marriage and his family's approval. Marriage affirmations to do for a 10K challenge to manifest. Okay, so it could be, I would say just go straight to the marriage, because if you're already married, then obviously the approval must have happened in order for you to be married. So I would say I am happily what is it? Happily married. Yeah, I'm happily married to blah blah blah. Blah blah blah, and I have
everyone is happy that we are married. Like everyone in our lives enjoyed the wedding. We look forward to all of our anniversaries. Yeah. Did I just cut it? And
yeah, you completely like wow, but it's fine. Yeah, what Katie says.
I keep doing that today. I feel really bad. It's because
It's fine. Just beat her up afterwards. I won't do that. Don't worry. Don't call the police on me. But yeah, so just stuff like my family approves of the wedding, or his family approves of the wedding. We had an amazing wedding. We've had an amazing honeymoon. Everyone enjoyed themselves. I felt like amazing on my wedding day. You just do anything that implies that the wedding either did happen, or is happening, or it was great, or that everyone was happy about it, that it went according to plan. Just anything along those lines. And then Zara also says, oh, sorry, yeah. And then Zara says, oh, so it's because we make a big thing that it becomes a big thing. Yeah, exactly. Because the universe, like, when you look at the bigger picture, the universe has like stars that orbit each other. The universe has planets that are in the perfect habitual zone to be able to sustain life. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to make anything that you have happen. But obviously our conscious mind goes, but I don't quite see how that could happen. And then that's where it becomes an issue. But yeah, in terms of like how difficult it is to manifest to the universe to make it happen, it's not a difficult thing. So it's just us that gets in the way. B says, can my thoughts manifest me bunch of new people buying me online programs? Yeah. Buying my online program. Sorry, I can't read. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what my whole business is based on. So yeah, absolutely. Well, mine's coaching as opposed to programs, but I suppose it's a similar thing. But yeah, you would literally just say like, I make X amount each month from people buying my programs. People that have bought my programs always give me such amazing feedback. I'm so grateful to see so many people buying my programs. There's just a couple of examples.
I have hit so many sales, whatever number you want to hit. Also, what are your programs? I'm interested to know. I'm going to read the next one because he's going to get his food. Do you have any experience with helping with mental health? So your next question is, do you have any experience with helping with mental health? I have experience with being helped with my mental health. And I mean, quite often on the live, I speak about how how you got cake, how my therapy went and stuff like that, and the techniques that I learned in therapy. But as like from a sort of like, you bought me food when I said thank you. As like we're not professionals and we're not therapists. We can speak from personal experience. I feel like in terms of like negative and very bad mental health, I have more personal experience with that than you do, I'd say. He's not really had many mental health struggles.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like, I don't know how, other than, yeah, anyway, I'm not going to talk about it.
What? Other than what? Oh, yeah, I got massive abandonment issues.
I wasn't going to say it and just drop you in
No,
there.
it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, so other than that, he sort of like has a very, very level-headed and very good. Whereas I've had a personal, very bad mental health my probably entire life up until very recently. So I can speak from personal experience, but I don't. I'd like to say I have helped people, but obviously I have no professional training or anything like that. I used to be part of like sort of online forums and like mental health groups and stuff, and I helped a lot of people there just by like talking to people and being like a buddy kind of. They had like little systems and stuff. But yeah, no professional experience with helping with mental health.
I do try my best to steer away from helping people with mental health. The reason being, sometimes I don't understand. It's because like my life has been like pretty awful, to be honest. So for me to come out of it where I am, sometimes I find it very difficult to level with people who have something that I would consider quite small that has completely ruined their life. And I do struggle to be on the same level with people with certain mental health issues over certain reasons. And because of that, and because I don't have any mental health issues, I do struggle to actually give genuine advice. Because a lot of the times, like I've had people in their lives go, "Oh, how do you deal with this?" And then I just kind of go, "Well, you just don't do it." Like people are like, "Oh, have you got any advice for stopping checking social media?" And then to me, I'm just like, "Just don't do it. It's a discipline thing." But to other people, it might not be that easy. So, and mental health is one of those subjects that I try not to get myself too involved in because, again, like Katie said, not professional whatsoever. And I also don't want to say something that makes someone else feel worse. If someone else struggles with depression and then I just say, well, just be happy in it, it's not going to help them. So
there's also a lot of triggering sort of things. There's like lots of things that like set off PTSD and like and those sort of things. And when you're talking to someone else without knowing their sort of the reason that they're in that mental health position, it is very easy to be like, oh, but why would that bother you? And actually, the color of someone's t-shirt could massively affect you, sort of thing. And so it's one of those subjects that's kind of like very, very hard to do online as well. I mean, talking over like private messaging and stuff like that is easier, but especially like as like, I don't know where you're based in the world, but for the UK, there are some absolutely amazing free therapists through like a GP sort of thing. So like they would be a much better option kind of thing.
If we could stop the questions and stuff now, unless we specifically ask you to put something in, just because our food's arrived, and we only wanted to do an hour one so we can go steeps. But
I've like ranted so much today. I just carried on chatting and chatting.
Verbal diarrhea. It's all right.
Even though I'm really tired, it's made it worse. I'm just like blah 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 blah.
How do I stop caring about how that would happen? Oh, sorry, we didn't even fully finish your question. Or did you finish that question?
Well,
B's question. So it was about the programs, and then how do I stop caring about how it would happen?
No, I asked what the programs was about, but I didn't read the other half. I just went on to the next question.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
So to how do you stop caring how that would happen? The best way that I deal with this is when you don't care how it happens, you open it up to many new avenues. So, for example, if I was to say I have to earn £1,000 through people paying for my video call coaching service, going through my website, then that limits it to that one way. Whereas if I say I earn £1,000 a month, this could come from donations. This could come from people paying for any of my other programs. This could come from people through TikTok, through Instagram, through YouTube. This could come from scratch card winnings. You could earn that money through anything. So the way that I find best to stop caring about how it would happen is the fact that when you stop caring about how it would happen, you're opening yourself up to many, many options. And the less that the universe has to do in order to give you your manifestation, the more likely that it is to come in quickly. For example, if you were to say, I absolutely must have this orange McLaren 12C, that has to find its way to you. But if you just say, I have an orange car, there's a lot more options there available. Now, it might not be as nice, obviously. This is a different example, but you see where I'm coming from. When you going out, you see where I'm coming from. When you don't care about the how, you open it up to way more options, which means that it'll be A, more enjoyable because it'll be a surprise, and B, it comes quicker, more than likely. Zara says, "Oh my God, you guys are awesome. You do lives like every week, and this helps me so much because through the week I just have new questions and it calms me down so much. So thanks. You're very welcome. We do try to make sure that we show up at least once a week. What? What? Oh, oh, well confused. I don't read. I read them one at a time, so I don't get there. But yeah, though we try our best to show up at least once a week for you lot. So I'm glad it helps. Amina says, Katie, if you love me, poke Matt hard. That wasn't hard. She don't love you. Oh God, there's so many. I gotta get through these. I want to eat.
Quick, go.
Dion Tyler says, "Hey Matt and Katie, I have a question. Probably at times I like to do things properly. Whenever you feel like scripting when you write, do you sometimes get stumped of what to write / write it properly?" So if I don't know what to write when it comes to scripting, I'll just read what I've already written, or I'll just go, what is it that I want? And then I'll just let myself go with it. Even if I just ramble on, I'll just be like, oh, okay, well, I want my band to do this well. And then I'll literally just write out like, oh yeah, like we had this show, or, we'll just write out a story. We had this show, fans came up to us, like people were like talking to us, that kind of stuff. And yeah, but if you really don't know what to write, just read something that you've already written. It's like reading it is still obviously, it's not scripting because you're not writing it, but you're still engaged in something that was written.
I also, when I can't think of like what it is, like how to phrase it, I write a few different ones that aren't necessarily related to me for a bit, and then I go back to it. So I will write, child had a really good day at school today.
Give us napkins.
They never give napkins. Matt had a super productive day, la la la. Like I just go through the people I know and write what their day was like that day and stuff, and then circle back to me.
Yeah. Zara says, also, if you slip back into your negative assumptions of something and like to talk to your friend about it, how do you go about not panicking about it? Because I know you can't possibly ruin your manifestation. I think, and again, it's going to be one of those things where I say just don't do it. You can choose what you talk about. You are not forced to talk about anything. So I think, and I mean this in the nicest way that I can possibly say this, I think that's just an excuse to dwell in the old story, because you don't have to talk to anyone about anything. Like you just say that I ain't gonna. But as for like the question, you just either revise it or just say that doesn't mean anything because I am, and then you say what you're in. But I would try to avoid chatting shit about your manifestations or desires or whatever to people, because there's no benefit to it, because the best that you're going to get from them is a bit of validation, like, oh yeah, he treated you like this, and all that is just dwelling in the old story. So I would recommend you just don't do it. Just say I'm not talking about it. Lewis says, sup guys, new subscriber, dope channel. Thank you very much. Happy to have you here. Thank you for joining. Cappadocian Kid says, how do you feel while you're manifesting? How did you feel while your manifesting was unfolding to get Katie back, especially last week or last day before she reached you back? I didn't feel any different. When I saw that I had 2 phone calls on my phone and one wasn't from Katie and it was the only one that I saw, it was my mum, I just knew that the other one was Katie. But I didn't feel any different. I went to bed the night before. Like I spent the entire night actually kicking the shit out of my friend on games, because I'm better than him by far. And it was just like normal. And then I woke up and it was like, oh, this has happened. So it's just I just felt natural. Because I also like had told myself that I was not going to reach out to Katie. I was not. And if I never heard from her again, and I was ready to just live my life, I had to. You have to convince yourself that you're going to be fine without someone. And yeah, that's why it worked so easily for me, because I was willing to give her up under the basis of I knew my worth. And I just felt natural. Dion Tyler says, also, with the 10K affirmations, is it okay to do 3 to 4 affirmations of that area, or just one affirmation that we are supposed to affirm for only one area while doing this multiple areas separately? Yeah, so I think it's absolutely fine to do 3 to 4. I think by the 10K thing, I think it's meant to be just kind of like in that general area. So if it's a relationship, saying I'm in a relationship with XYZ, XYZ and I are happy in this relationship. I have so much fun being in a relationship with XYZ, and It feels amazing to be in a relationship with XYZ. There's still 4 affirmations all saying that you're in this relationship. So I think it's perfectly fine to switch them up. I think it's just as long as it's the general same topic, that's when it's kind of like necessary. Amanea says, Katie looks so pocket size. I just want to pet her and protect her. She's too cute. Yeah, I'm actually more pocket size than Katie.
I'm actually super tall.
Yeah, she's taller than me.
I'm 5'9".
I'm 5'7". Yeah, 7. JRC says, yeah, but your videos also explain things in a way that I can personally understand better, as well as you care about your subscribers/clients. Well, I'm glad that you are able to make use of it, and I'm very thankful for the nice words. That's very kind of you. Thank you, JRC. Dev says, can your manifestation fail? No.
Amanea says it doesn't.
Yeah.
And
then Cappadocian says, yes, if you focus on failure. Yeah, so it can only fail if you assume that it's failed. Nothing has failed until you give up and say it's failed, because things could take longer to manifest. For example, it took me a month to manifest my job. It took me 6 months to manifest a pay rise in that job. Now, you would have thought that a job that is going to pay as much as it did would be harder to manifest than a pay rise that is only increasing the wage by a little amount. But it only took me a month to get it, whereas it took me 6 months to get the pay rise. At any point in that, especially considering my manager was like, oh, we haven't got the money for funding, blah, 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 blah. At any point, I could have been like, oh, this must mean it's not going to happen. I failed. But I didn't, and it took 6 months. So up until that 6 months, technically it was a failed manifestation because it hadn't happened yet. But the only thing that would have decided that it was failed was if I had decided it was failed. Other than that, it was just a manifestation waiting to play out. None of it's failed until you choose it to be. Lewis says, I was offered a job that's cool and it starts on the 26th. I had a second interview at my dream job, but have to wait 2 weeks for hiring. I feel like I have it, but the wait is nerve-wracking, honestly. Should I turn down the offer for my dream job?
So the offer to the original one, should you turn down the offer for getting
Oh, for my dream job. I see. In my personal opinion, and I don't want you to follow this blindly. I want you to think about this before you do what I say, because I don't want to be the person on the internet that ruins your life. I would turn it down for your dream job. Over this past year, maybe not even year, since November, I have really been putting in the effort with everything, so much so as giving up things that are safe for something that I prefer. This, my coaching, my job, all that kind of stuff. When I got my job, I didn't apply for a single other job. I found a job that I liked the look of, the wage and all that lot. And I said, this is my job and I'm not giving up until I got it. I was unemployed. I looked like a bum. I was pathetic, but I didn't give up on it because I had chosen that job. And I did the same with my coaching. I decided I'm dropping a day. And if I don't make enough money to manage that day, then, which definitely will, it's not a problem. But I chose my coaching over that, even at the risk that I didn't get clients, because doing this is my dream job compared to my 9 to 5. Obviously, my band is my overarching dream. I'd love to be doing that full time, but this is my sort of realistic dream job, shall we say, while I wait for the band to completely blow up. But and yeah, I gave up safety and security for something that I have a dream in, and Katie's started to do the same. And even when times are tough, when you're pursuing something that you have a dream in or something that genuinely makes you happy, times don't feel as tough. There are some days when, if you include my coaching and video recording and planning and stuff, and obviously there'll be breaks in between, when I'm dealing with the kids and stuff, but I'll start at 8 in the morning and I won't stop until 10 at night. But I don't even notice that because I'm pursuing something. But between the morning and lunchtime at a 9 to 5 kills me off. So you've got to determine the risk over reward, the return on investment. Is this dream job going to make you happier in the long run, even if you have to struggle a bit to get it? If yes, I would say to go for it. Very long way to basically say yeah. Lady R says, I'm manifesting for my mother's health. However, she's not following all the doctor's instructions. I got frustrated with her today and felt that she's complicating my life unnecessarily. I had to remind myself that she's in perfect health. Yeah, I would keep going that she's in perfect health, but maybe to add into it is to say that your mother is doing everything that she needs to do to help her health or to help improve her health. just so that you don't have to try and deal with triggers. Because I do always say that you should remove triggers. Now, you can't quite remove your mum. So you should try and remove the things that your mum is doing that triggers you by changing them. That might be something to just add in. You don't have to make it your sole focus, but maybe just add it in a little bit. Abinaya says, you think it fails because the answer lies in itself. Read that again. You're manifesting things to fail just by thinking it would. So there you have it. Yeah. Dev says, hey, Abinaya, have you ever had a 3P fears when you were manifesting your SP? Dion Tyler says, oh my God, Matt walked in with that bag of food and made me hungry. Jesus, fix it. And then, Matt, what's in the bag? I might want some too. So I got a kebab and I got a chocolate cake. And then I got Katie some chicken wings because she had food before the start of life. She laid in bed all cozy, getting ready to sleep.
I got back from work and then Matt made me a big plate of food and I got all snuggy in bed and then I had a mini nap and now I feel great.
Yeah. No, I came
but I'm still tired, but great.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually a really picky eater.
It's just do you know how he has his kebab?
It's just barbecue sauce
plain
and kebab meat. That's why I'm not eating it on stream. I don't want people to laugh at me.
Nothing in there, just barbecue sauce on kebab.
Abinaya says, I don't know who are you talking about, but if my memory still retains, there was a third party when I was manifesting back my SP because they were someone I manifested into our lives unnecessary out of fear. So yeah. So to answer your question, yes, it was really a horrible and traumatic experience for me because if it wasn't, I would have known who that person was, but now I no longer remember that person anymore. I see what she's trying to do. She's trying to speak in code, but when I haven't got my glasses on, it was so difficult to read. Yeah, so you go. There's her answer. Dev says, those are my fears. I mean, in my reality, she is with no one, but still those fears are killing me. Just remember that you're the prize. Remember that you're the person that she's worried about you're getting with someone else. Stop putting her on a pedestal. Take her off it. There's millions of other women out there. Not that you have to go for them, but just remember that it doesn't matter. If she gets with someone else, you get with someone else. That's obviously poor advice, but you get what I mean. You just got to stop fearing the worst and just remember that regardless of the worst, there are benefits that come out of every situation. Joe says, thanks, guys. You're very welcome. Abinaya says, giving more importance to them makes things worse, though. It took me a long time to remove them forever out of my life once and for all. It did. She was constantly messaging me every day going, what do I do? What do I do? Cappadocian says, if there's any kind of 3P, just create self-confidence and focus on yourself. Absolutely. My recent video on third party, I think, is really good for this. So go check it out if you haven't already. Abinaya says, it took me that long because it really stems from my self-concept. I had the worst possible one known to man for a few months ago. Cappadocian Kid then says, even there's not just create a confidence in general. Yep, just become confident. Abinaya then says, I love you too, Katie. And then Abinaya also says, my guy Matt, feed Katie somewhere else. I got her wings. I've made her food earlier and then bought her wings. Why am I the bad guy?
Don't buy me any food, and then you bought me food anyway.
Yeah. Tanis says, results for my national exam came out. I did not get required marks. Should I revise the marks or start studying to give the exam again next year and manifest better marks next year? Didn't you ask this question last week? Or was it someone else that asked a similar question? I don't know. It's up to you. It depends on what you would prefer to do. Would you prefer to revise it, or would you prefer to just go forward with the new assumption that it's all gone according to plan for next year's one? So I'd say it depends on, because some people just don't enjoy revision that much. I'm one of them. I actually don't. I like the idea of revision, and I know that it's effective, but I don't enjoy doing it. I'd rather just look forward than backward. So it would just be a preferred situation for you. Abinaya says, good, Katie. I am 5'9/5'11". Too heck yeah, come get us, Matt. Why am I a target? What? What did I do? Tanes also says, it seems my SP did well in her exams, which is contradictory to my affirmations of us having similar marks, as same marks would get us to the same college. Should I affirm that she is dropping too? No, I don't condone you putting someone else down, because there's no reason for you to hold her back. You can just build yourself up to join her. Her success does not validate your failure whatsoever. So I would not recommend that you try to bring her down. I would recommend that you try to bring yourself up. Abinaya says, I'm around 180 centimeters.
I don't know what I am in centimeters.
No, I have no fucking
No
clue
idea.
either. Geetha says, "Hey, how do you bounce back from focusing on the 3D?" Oops. Just remind yourself that it's malleable and you can change it, and it's not the end of the world.
Distractions.
Yeah, healthy distractions.
Mm.
Like nice walks, meditating, gym, business, art, just something that just reminds you that you're good on your own. Not that you have to be on your own, but it just reminds you that regardless of what you're seeing, you've got your own back. And that's an extremely important factor when it comes to manifesting. But just remind yourself that it's malleable. You focus on the 3D, things can change within 24 hours. It can happen. Literally, for going back to Katie and I, one day we were in no contact and I was there kicking the shit out of Tristan. The next day she's like showing up at my house. So things can change instantly. So just remember that it's not malleable. It's malleable. Dev says, "Can I affirm that her being with someone else is in order to be my girlfriend? Can I affirm that her being with someone else in order to be my girlfriend is not true? She just became my girlfriend without being with anyone else." Yeah, there's no reason to put any focus on someone else being involved in the first place. Just go straight to the end of you two being together.
Mm.
But I would definitely say your severe fear of her being with someone else definitely comes from it does seem to be stemming from a self-concept situation. So I think you should be putting a lot of focus on you and becoming irreplaceable and being able to handle if she got with someone else. Obviously, I know you don't want it, but you are very obsessively fearing it. This whole stream has been worrying about it so far. So
I think if you concentrate massively on getting yourself to I don't care, I'm amazing sort of thing, then you won't create her getting with anyone else, therefore she won't get with anyone else.
exactly. Jazz Deep says, "Not me listening to this live while working out at the gym." Hey, good. See that's focusing on you big time, learning and physically building. I like it. What are you working on? Abonea says, "Damn, Matt's rendition about my messages makes me gonna cutely hop on to Instagram lovingly, unfollow him, and sweetly block him." That's fine, isn't it? That's you. You can head over to Katie's DMs and you can pester her day in day out. Why is like one spot of her really warm?
I don't know.
Um,
Weird. Why do you have a cat temperature? Let's check your ears.
Asal says, "How can I manifest moving to another country to live with my fiance?" So there is two things that I would say on this one. Do you want to move there, or do you just think that that's the only option in order for you to live with your fiance? Because if you'd rather stay where you are or have it play out naturally, then go straight to the end of like living with your fiance. You don't necessarily have to have moved there. Oh, hang on, did you say something else? Oh no. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to have moved there in order to be with her. So you can either go straight to the end of I am living with this person. No, I want to move there. Okay, then yeah, you could like affirm. Did you specify how you want to do it? How can I manifest moving to a No. So for the sake of this, because I use affirmations, you can affirm something like I am so happy to be living in blah 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 with blah blah blah. It feels amazing to be able to move to my dream country and live with blah blah blah. Just basically create what you're doing, where you're doing it, and who you're with. Basically, all as like an affirmation, or if you do visualize,
like a whole story.
Yeah, or if you visualize, you could visualize you guys going on for a walk or something together in one of the cities, something along those lines. Tana says, no, I'm not saying I wanted to pull her down. She did okay to get a normal college. I wanted us to go to a better college next year. So should I affirm that she is dropping too?
What, dropping out of a different college that so she did good enough to get into one college, but you both want to go to a even better college.
Yeah, then you can affirm that.
No, just affirm that you're both at that amazing college.
Yeah.
And you're both doing brilliant at it and everything is good. And then she might even end up going to that college for a little bit and then ended up dropping out of that college or whatever. But next year you'll both be at that college.
Yeah. So. Yeah, the wording threw me off. But yeah, if it's to benefit the both of you, then absolutely go for it. Jazz Deep says back was in New York earlier in the week, so didn't get time to get to the gym, but I still have to end the week good. Yeah, I feel that. I hate it when I don't go for too long. It makes me want to like throw myself at a wall. But I did back today actually. Back on buys. I tried the new machines. They've added some new stuff in Pure Gym.
Oh, nice.
Are they good? They're all right. They're not like amazing, but they're all right.
I did back on Tuesday. And only just now feel okay in my back.
Asal says, thank you so much. You're very welcome. Lady R says, I had a very busy week and didn't have time to do my normal manifestation technique, but I was not worried about that because my thoughts were always living in the end. Then that's absolutely fine. If you don't have the time to do it, but you're keeping yourself in check, then that's absolutely that's just as good. Geetha says, my mental diet has been pretty good overall. Have manifested a better job and stuff. It's just with my SP, it's taking longer. Do you have any advice for that? Some things do take longer than others. Like I said earlier, I managed to manifest my job within a month and my pay rise within 6 months. So things do just simply take different times to other things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything wrong, but by accepting that you don't have it yet and by looking for an answer to make it come quicker, you're in a state of not having, which is obviously the opposite of what you want. So my advice would simply be persist in what you've been doing to manifest your job and like the other things that you said, and do the same things for your specific person, and just know that it's coming in, and that just some things do simply just take longer than others sometimes, and it's nothing that we can really control, and it's also nothing that we should concern ourselves with. It will come. You know it works. You've already done it. Just remember that and stay true to it. We're going to end this here because I need to go eat and I need to go sleep. So thank you everyone for showing up. If any of you are in need with more direct coaching with me, obviously check the links in like my description and stuff. I've obviously added the new services and everything. If you want to be part of the Discord channel, you can either join it through the website because there's now a service for it, or join it through the YouTube membership. We're really happy to see you there. Thank you everyone for showing up. We really appreciate it. And we will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Awkward.